We are learning more information about what precipitated the Kyrie Irving trade from Cleveland to Boston last summer. ESPN's Dave McMenamin is reporting the Cavs had informal internal talks on draft night with a large circle of front office members about what Irving could command on the trade market. Now, that news trickled down to Irving, who subsequently requested a formal trade. Here's more from Dave and the growing relationship between general manager Koby Altman and LeBron James.
Some of the relationship faults between LeBron and Kobe were Koby Altman's fault. For the beginning missteps, that meeting was ill-conceived. Later in the summer, LeBron James made it clear that he did not want to trade Kyrie Irving, yet they went ahead and traded him anyway. And then when the Cavs were having their doldrums, Kobe was not around the team. And I detail in the story, one, he was with his fiancée to be there for the birth of his child, who experienced some health complications. And he was also going through NBA draft preparation. The teams never really had to deal with that the last couple of years. But Kobe did a lot of good in repairing that relationship by going to LeBron James before the trade deadline occurred and said, hey, LeBron, here's what I'm looking at. We got this deal on the table. We got that deal on the table. It could look like this at the end of the day. It could look like that. But I wanted to make you sure that you know what's going on and that we are going to get you help, because we recognize that what you're playing without the court is not serving your talents enough to try to get something accomplished with the Cavs this year. So, after that happened, LeBron thanked Koby Altman and credited him by name in a press conference, something that happened all season long. And perhaps that will be the start of them having a solid working relationship going forward.
For more on this, let's head back to First Take.
Doug, thank you. So the deal is, sources are saying the Cavs were sloppy in talking about Irving's future and that it should have taken place within the smallest of leadership circles. Max, does this whole thing change your opinion on the Cavs, the Kyrie, Cavs situation?
Not at all, because Stephen A., you put your finger on it from the beginning. I'll give you credit. This is on LeBron. He is the leader of the team. He made it such that Kyrie felt he needed out of there. Now, was it handled optimally by the Cavs? No. The handling of this was suboptimal. They could have gotten more trade value for Kyrie than they did had they handled it differently. However, you have to understand you will never get optimal trade value for an asset when it is known that that guy wants to leave. There are no secrets. Look, if I knew about it, you think NBA executives didn't know about it? Kyrie wanted out. The Cavs were never going to get a return equivalent to Kyrie's value. I thought they did pretty well under the circumstances, but that is LeBron's fault. He undermined the value of a tradable asset, one that probably should have never wanted out in the first place. That's on LeBron.
Stephen A.?
You know, right now, as I sit here and look at y'all, I'm ticked off. This is the kind of stuff that gets on my last damn nerves about LeBron. So now, months later, let's clean this up to the point where he looks totally innocent and all the, I never wanted Kyrie to leave. That was never a part of the equation. I had nothing to do. Stop. Just stop it. See, this is the kind of stuff that when remember how many times, Max and Molly, have y'all heard me talk about him trying to control the narrative? Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that gets on my damn nerves. Because literally speaking, LeBron is right. He did tell them, I don't want Kyrie to go. No, I don't want Isaiah and Crowder. But did you say that when you had an opportunity to send Kyrie away and you were going to end up getting both Paul George and Eric Bledsoe? You didn't say that then. You didn't say that then, which is what ultimately got Kyrie tipped off. Dave McMenamin didn't do a bad job here. He does a great job covering the Cavs. But that's the part of the story that he didn't articulate enough. You had an opportunity to give both Paul George and Eric Bledsoe. LeBron James didn't poo-poo that. Kyrie Irving came on First Take in studio for 2 hours and said, quote, I had been feeling this way for a while, but I'm not going to do anything to get in the way of the team and our ultimate goals. I'm not going to be the person that you point the finger at. Remember when he said that, Max? Remember when he said that, Molly? That's what he said. And so what I'm looking at it is that, wait a minute. So now months later, LeBron James, a grown man, great person, great athlete, great leader, great ambassador, best player in the world, champion 3 times over, been to 7-8 straight NBA finals, but you're going to go out your way for this narrative to come out now? Oh, hell no. Hell no. No, 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 no. That does not happen now. The fact is that Kyrie left because Kyrie didn't want to be there with him. Kyrie left because Kyrie wanted to determine his own future instead of being at the mercy of LeBron. Kyrie left because the Cleveland Cavaliers as an organization capitulated in most instances to whatever LeBron has wanted since LeBron has returned. That does not make LeBron a bad guy. That doesn't make him the worst person in the world or the worst athlete or anything like that. He didn't do anything salacious or really underhanded towards Kyrie or anything like that. But his willingness to try to control the narrative is what incriminates him more than anything else. And that's the damn problem. Kyrie Irving, LeBron did not cultivate the relationship with Kyrie Irving the way that he was supposed to. Kyrie Irving didn't feel as valued by LeBron, period. And just owning that, manning up, and owning that is all he has to do. Oh, but no, he can't do that. Instead, now months later, we hear the narrative. And that's the kind of stuff, because what that does, Max, is make somebody like me and anybody who reports it look like the bad guy, like we hating on LeBron, when we're doing no such thing. We're just saying, damn, it ain't that big of a deal. You can't own that. You got to try to change that
Usually
narrative.
mid-career,
You're going through all of this.
He'll own it in the 30 for 30, Stephen A. Usually mid-career, that's not the way it works.
Exactly.
Shaq can own it about penny years later. Kobe and Shaq can own it now years later. But, of course, you're right. And here's your best point, in my opinion. Right. Here's your best point, in my opinion. You know, a lot of times I'll get on you about, well, what does that have to do with LeBron controlling the narrative? In this case, reports that come out like this are exactly what you're describing because they're half-truths. It's not that it's not literally true, like he didn't want Kyrie for Isaiah and Crowder. The point was, at that point, you've so undermined his trade value because everyone knows he's out. You can't get anything better. And LeBron with Paul George, I know you said Bledsoe and Paul George. LeBron with Paul George in particular immediately becomes one of the all-time great two-way wing combinations, which traditionally has been the easiest way to win a championship, Stephen A., whether that's Magic and Worthy, Jordan and Pippen, LeBron and Wade. And they missed it.
Stay on your other point. Stay on your other point. When you talked about Shaq with Penny and the 30 for 30, or Shaq with Kobe and the sit down and all of this other stuff, it always comes out later. You're absolutely right about that. But here is a fact that is undeniable. Kyrie Irving wanted to depart from Cleveland ultimately because he wanted to have control over his own future instead of being at the mercy of LeBron. Does that sound like an individual to you that said, I want to be at the mercy of the organization? No, every player is at the mercy of the organization to some degree, so every player accepts that. He didn't want to be at the mercy of a particular player who happens to be a superstar.
Think about this real quick,
now, why
Stephen
would
A.
that be, Max? It would be because you know the star has that kind of clout, and you believe the star was in on you being moved out.
Hey,
that
real quick,
fact.
Stephen A. Real quick, when you think about where relationships between two superstars have deteriorated and a dynasty was cut short, even Shaq and Kobe had Phil Jackson holding it together for a while. Even, you know, you look at Pat Riley, right? He could hold it together. There's no Pat Riley or Phil Jackson with the Cavs. That the absence of that is the problem. Yeah. So LeBron can run amok.
Yeah. No one is swaying Stephen A's opinion here. What? Go ahead.
Molly, he's the best player in the world. Great player, great guy, all of that other stuff.
Yep.
One Achilles heel. Constantly trying to control the damn narrative and get mad at anybody that disagrees with him when Stevie wanted to see what the hell you doing.
Clearly, it didn't work.
You let LeBron do what he wants.
It didn't work controlling the narrative for you, at least. All right, guys, still to come. In light of the allegations against the Mavericks this week, Adam Silver is instituting a confidential hotline for team and league employees. Is this too little, too late? Plus, do you want to see a playoff before the playoffs? The NBA is discussing adding play-in games for the 7 and 8 seeds. We'll break down if this is worth it.
Each day, Justin chooses to walk. At work,